Hello students, in our previous lesson we discussed the process of meiosis, and I told you meiosis is a process that occurs at the time of gametes formation in animals and spores formation in plants. So when we talk about the process of meiosis, this process is there actually for the formation of gametes. There are two types of gametes, the male gametes and female gametes. What process actually involved in the formation of gametes? That process is called gametogenesis. During this process of gametogenesis, gametes are formed. This process occurs both in male and female. In male, this process occurs in testes, and in females, this process will occur in ovaries. Now we have to link this gametogenesis process with this meiosis, means how this meiosis will take place and how the gametes will be formed in male and female. So when we talk about the process of gametogenesis, gametogenesis can be divided into three phases. There are three phases of this process of gametogenesis. The first process is basically a process of multiplication. Second process or second phase is of growth. So, first process is multiplication phase, second is growth phase, third one is maturation phase. In male, this process is called spermatogenesis. And females, this process is called oogenesis. Now we discuss both these processes: spermatogenesis, the formation of sperms; oogenesis, the formation of ova or egg. In first process, that is called spermatogenesis, in testes, primordial cells are formed. In primordial cells, the process of multiplication will take place, and in this process of multiplication, primordial cells divide twice. In first division, one primordial cell will be divided into two cells, and these two cells then will be divided into four cells. The process that will take place over here, that is mitosis. So mitosis will take place in primordial cells in two phases. In first division, from one primordial cells, two cells are formed, and then finally four cells will be formed, which will be called spermatogonium. This phase is called multiplication phase, in which one primordial cell will be divided into four spermatogonium. Next, second phase will start, that is called growth phase. So what will happen in this second phase, that is called growth phase? In growth phase, actually this process of growth will take place in all 4 cells, but right now definitely we will draw only one cell. So in one spermatogonium, when the process of growth will start, this spermatogonium will accumulate a large amount of food. It will grow in size, it will accumulate large amount of food in it. This phase is called growth phase. So this spermatogonium, then when it completes growth phase, it will enter into maturation phase, and in maturation phase this spermatogonium will be changed into another cell, that is called primary spermatocyte. This cell is called primary spermatocyte. Now the process of meiosis will start. In first meiotic division, this primary spermatocyte will be divided into 2 haploid cells. Previously, the primordial cell, spermatogonium, primary spermatocyte, at all stages cell was diploid. This primary spermatocyte will be divided into 2 cells, but this time eventually what phase or what type of division will be involved, that is meiosis. In meiotic 1, this primary spermatocyte will be divided into 2 cells, and these cells are called secondary spermatocytes. They are called secondary spermatocytes. Then these 2 cells in meiotic 2 division will change into 4 cells. These 4 cells are called spermatids. And finally, these spermatids will change into sperms. Now these cells, these spermatids are actually, after the process of meiosis, will be having half number of chromosomes, haploid number of chromosomes. When like if 46 number of chromosomes are there in spermatogonium, after the process of meiosis, the number of chromosome becomes half, haploid. Mean all the 2 cells will have 23 number of chromosomes, half number of chromosomes, and in second meiotic divisions, resultantly 4 cells or 4 spermatids will be formed, and all will be having the same number of chromosomes, 23. So overall we had 4 spermatogonium. 4 into 4, it means from one primordial cell 16 spermatids will be produced, and after development, after growth, after some changes, these 4 spermatids will be changed into sperms. Mean like they will be modified in this structure. So it's a sperm. Mean finally all 4 spermatids of one primary spermatocyte will be changed into 4 sperm cells, and all sperms will carry half number of chromosomes, haploid number of chromosomes. So this process will take place in sperms. So this is a process in which sperms are formed. This is called spermatogenesis. We talk about the second process which will take place in ovaries in females, that is called oogenesis. Same in oogenesis, first the primordial cell in multiplication phase four oogonium are formed. These are 4 oogonium. They are formed resultantly from the multiplication phase. Mean in this process, after the process of mitosis, one cell will be divided into 4 cells and 4 oogonium are formed. Then second phase will start, that is the growth phase. One oogonium this oogonium will accumulate a large amount of food, increase in its size. It will be changed into oogonium or primary oocyte. It is called primary oocyte. From here, the process of meiosis again will start. It will divide this primary oocyte into 2 secondary oocytes. Primary oocyte is diploid in chromosome numbers, but after meiotic division 1, this primary oocyte will be divided into 2 secondary oocytes. These are 2 secondary oocytes, and in these secondary oocytes the number of chromosomes becomes half, haploid. In second meiotic division, but keep in your mind one thing you should remember over here. In the division, first meiotic division, when primary oocyte will be changed into secondary oocyte, only one oocyte will be developed, secondary oocyte, that will be larger in size, and second cell will be smaller in size. The reason, actually when they divide, during the process of karyokinesis actually they will shift their genetic material equally, but the process of cytokinesis is unequal. That is the reason the second cell will be smaller in size. That's why it is called polar body. It's first polar body. So in meiotic 2 division, this single secondary oocyte will be further divided into one ovum. This is ovum or egg, and second again another polar body will be formed. This polar body will divide to make more 2 polar bodies. So overall, after this process of oogenesis, one primordial cell will give rise only one ovum and 3 polar bodies. These polar bodies are actually not functional egg. Only one egg will be available. So overall, from these 4 oogoniums, there are only 4 egg cells will be formed. So this is a process of gametogenesis which will take place in male in the form of spermatogenesis, which will produce sperms, and in females it will produce ovum or egg during the process of oogenesis. So how this whole process will be carried out, we discuss the process of meiosis now in detail, because before it was necessary to tell you something about the process of gametogenesis. In our next lesson, definitely we will discuss the process of meiosis in detail. Till then, stay blessed, stay happy.